Good evening, everyone. Nice to meet everyone for this class, International Marketing and Exports. So I'm Dr. Oriagba by name, and I'll be the lecturer in charge for this class. So before we start, let's just have a brief introduction. Let's just get to know each other. So I'll just start by introducing yourself. So I think I'll just call names. I have on my list doing Adepoju. So can you kindly introduce yourself? Thank you.
Good evening, Ma, and good evening, my colleagues. Trust you had a great day. Adepo Jola doing Aderonke. I finished my undergraduate and master's from University of Ibadan. And I'm a lecturer at Federal College of Agriculture, More Plantation. I'm glad to be in this class, Ma. Good evening once again.
Good evening, Ma. So
Yes,
I
Ma.
have Farmer Lawrence with us here in the house.
Good evening, everyone.
Good-
Anyway, Matsuri is my name. I'm based in Harare, Zimbabwe. I'm an agribusiness consultant as well as labor advisor with the Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare here in Harare. And I did my MBA with the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil. Thank you.
Thank you. So Farmer Lawrence, are you with us in the house? Also have Olajide Taiwo here in the house.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Olajide Taiwo Oluwaseyi. I finished my first degree and my MSc in the University of Ibadan. I'm a farmer. It's my pleasure to be here tonight.
Good evening, Ma. And we have Olakpeju Grace.
Yes, good evening, Ma, and good evening, everyone. My name is Alakweju Grace. I also had my MBA at University of Abuja and MSc University of Ibadan. Currently working with International Institute of Agriculture, RIT. Nice to be here and nice meeting everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So nice to meet everyone. So we just have an introductory class this evening, then we'll continue fully in the next class. And as I said, we are looking at the course is international marketing and exporting. So I will start with international marketing. Then during the course of this class, we'll look at exporting, or should I say export management. So we'll look at that. Export management. I know from the word international marketing, we have the understanding that international marketing, when you hear the word international marketing, what comes to your mind is you're doing transaction outside the home country. So that is international marketing. But international marketing is not just doing transactions outside the home country. It's not just that word alone. So it also comes with multinational marketing. It also comes with global marketing. So now, we have the, the national marketing. So as before I take us the next slide. So let's see how we can differentiate between multinational marketing, international marketing. I've said international marketing, but let me hear from us again, and global marketing. Let's hear from you. So when you hear the word, or let me even add export marketing. Export marketing. So now we have 4 concepts that we want to look at. We're going to look at international marketing, multinational marketing, global marketing, and export marketing. There are times that these words it can be confusing to some people, sometimes can be used interchangeably, and some of us have a clear, distinct understanding on what it means. So let's just, clarify that for this class. So when you say international marketing, what do you mean by that? When you say multinational marketing, what do you mean by that? Global marketing and export marketing. So who is going to open the floor? Or should I call names for, do you want me to call names? So who is going to open the floor? Anybody? So we have Mrs. Doing in the house, Mama Florence, Mrs. Olajide, Mrs. Olapeju, and Mr. Madzure. So you can pick any concept. Let's share the ideas that we have within ourselves. So when you say multinational, when you say global, when you say export, so let's hear from you.
Okay, I would like to start with export marketing. Is an act of selling goods and services to customers in foreign countries. So for that, goods and services that are produced in the home country have been moved to foreign countries to be sold. That's a summary of my idea of export marketing, man.
Okay, thank you for that, export marketing. So who is going to talk to us about international, multinational, and global?
If I may pick a multinational marketing, I will describe it as a developing or implementing marketing strategies that cut across multiple countries, such that you design the product in such a way that it will fit to the unique requirements specific for each country. It might be the same product line, but you try to design a marketing strategy that will make it to be fit into the country context. So that is what I can summarize multinational marketing.
Okay, thank you very much. So who is going to pick global marketing?
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
So, while international market focuses on designing products to fit into different countries and cultures, global market is one product that is designed to fit into different markets without particularly tweaking it to fit into different cultures. It's more adaptable into the global market, rather than adapting the product to fit into cultures. It's designed for cultures to fit into the products.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. As I said, international marketing is marketing goods and services to other countries. And as far as you are selling another country, or should I say political boundary in another nation, you're already involved in international marketing. And export marketing too, you're saying that is a selling of goods and services to other countries. You get that is export. So as far as they're taking the goods out from one country to another, that person is already engaging in what you call export marketing. So it's just, should I say, a strategy to enter a foreign country. So for me to enter a foreign country, I have to do what we call export. But international marketing is a general term used within the marketing boundaries. If when a international or engaging what we call international marketing. Even if I'm carrying my goods from Nigeria to Cotonou, it is international marketing. It is going to Ghana, it's going to Zimbabwe, it's going to Cote d'Ivoire, it's going to South Africa. They're already engaging what we call international marketing because they are moving from one boundary to another, or one national boundary to another. But when you say multinational marketing, even from the word multinational, it means multiple countries. They're engaging in multiple national countries. That's what it means. So they're not just trading with one country, because international, you're saying that I'm trading, as far as I'm trading in another country, I am international. As I'm trading in another country, I'm already engaging international. For multinational, you're saying that I'm trading in multiple countries at the same time. So they are what they call multinational. They're not just trading in South Africa, they're also trading in UK, they're also trading in Ireland, they're already trading in Sweden, they're trading in different countries. So that is multinational. They're trading in multiple countries. So that is multinational. And the interesting thing is that, since they're trading in multiple countries, they have to ensure that whatever they're trading with, the goods or services, meets the cultural demand, meets that specific country's demand. But with global marketing, they see the place as one market. They see the environment, the world as one market. So that's one of us said, you're taking one product across, all countries or multiple countries. So one product, they're not adapting. It's just the same product that they're selling in all countries, irrespective of the cultural differences that is there, or the differences in the needs and preferences. It's just that one product. So global is saying that they're saying the marketplace as one, so they're able to trade in all countries, use that same product to trade in all countries. So that makes the company global, as far as they're able to use that same product to trade across all continents. Then it becomes a global firm or a global organization. But they can only become multinational if they are just within specific number of firms or countries. They are just within maybe 5 countries or 4 or 6. It can even be 11. They are still considered as multinational. But when that particular product is seen as one product that can be sold across all board, irrespective of the nation, the cultural differences, the specific preferences that they have, taste and the they are selling the same product, then it's becoming global, because the consumers out there all see the same product as the same. So that is when between international multinational, and global. So here is saying that multinational marketing came into use to describe the approach by which companies with strong commitment to international marketing and marketing of brands sold in multiple countries. So that is in multinational, multiple countries, encompassing advertising and other relative activities. So that is multinational companies. They are selling in multiple countries. And what makes it multinational again, as I've said, is that they treat each country as an independent market. So they are able, their advertisement is distinct and independent of another nation's advertisement. They're able to develop its own, product, its own placing strategy, that is distribution strategy. They develop its own promotional strategies. They develop their own market strategies as a whole for each of the markets. So that is multinational. But for global, it's the same strategies that they use all over. It is the same strategies that they tend to use when it comes a global market, market. So you're saying that global corporations will operate as if the entire world or major region of the world were a single entity. So the products are standardized and not, it does not fall under the adaptation strategy. So they tend to standardize their products. So that is just, for global market or global marketing. So now we're still on the nature of international marketing. So why do we have to look at multinational global marketing? They are all still part of international marketing, but as far as you're going outside of national boundaries, you're already engaging in multinational. But it's very important that we have to differentiate whether we're engaging we're engaging in international. So we need to know whether we're engaging in just international marketing, that is, or export marketing. We're just trading to another country. We're just engaging with trading in another foreign country, or we're engaging in multinational market, or we're engaging in a global market. So it's very important that we're able to differentiate all that, but they're still part of international marketing. Okay, so as I said, for international marketing, one can engage in what we call exporting. Exporting is just a strategy that one would use to enter the market. And that is like the commonly used or known and used strategy that people tend to use. They tend to take their products from one place to another. That is a general strategy that companies or SMEs, individuals tend to use to enter that foreign market or that international market. That is the generally used strategy that they tend to use. Then aside that, there are also, there are different types of strategies that one can use to enter the international market. It's not just exporting. We have the licensing, we have the franchise, we have the strategic alliances. There are different strategies that can be used to enter that. We even have the management contract. We'll look at that. We have the management contract. We have different ways to enter the market, but the one that is commonly known is the exporting. And you're saying dimensions of international marketing. We have, as I've mentioned, the exporting, that is selling to foreign markets. Importing is purchasing from foreign areas, and management of international operations when the business activities, wherever all phases of business activities are undertaken. So that is management of international operations. So meaning that you are able to run that particular nation or that particular country, you're able to run its operational activity on a consistent basis successfully and, at that particular international level as it is. Okay, so as we're going to look at this later in the class to understand the various, should I say, strategies that is being used to engage in international marketing. So now I have this question for us, food for the thought, that says, is international marketing only of concern for large and so-called international firms? So although we've answered that, But I have another question for us during the class. International market, or I have answered that. Is international marketing only of concern for large and so-called international firm? I've answered that, but I have another question for us at the end of the class. We'll look at that. But let's look at another subtopic that says, why rapid growth in international business? Or should I say international, it's meant to be international marketing. Why that rapid growth? So why are people engaging in international marketing? I know there are a lot of reasons why we engage, or why there is this rapid growth in international marketing and international business as a whole. Why are people engaging in international marketing as a whole? So here I have the lowering of governmental and other barriers of trade and investment, the changes of international trade patterns, and changes in some locations of major economic activities. I also have the recognition of increasing incomes and increasing diverse population in some countries have provided new and often more segmented markets, and increased importance of innovation as idea and advances in technologies, strategies, business models spread rapidly. So these are like the reason why the growth in international business tends to increase, the increase in income, diverse population, even the demand from the diverse population of certain products has increased over time. The changes in, the government political scape, the economic scape of that particular nation has favored, some countries to trade in that particular economy. So that is part of the rapid growth. So let's hear from all. Aside these three that I've mentioned, is there any other rapid growth that has taken place in international business? So what other rapid growth are you familiar with that you want to share with us? Any rapid growth that you want to share with us? I know there are a lot, so you can just mention one or two for us in this class.
Ma, please, the question is not that clear. Can you please clarify it a bit?
So I asked that if you can mention the reason why there is increase in the growth in international business.
Oh, okay. So I would say value of currency can also motivate people to engage in international business.
The value of currency, and I think Nigerians are really experiencing that. The exchange rate is favoring them
Yeah.
than compared to what the income they're experiencing in their own country. So sometimes exchange rate tends to, make people go to other countries to trade. So any other contribution? So why rapid growth? Okay, Farmer Lawrence, let's hear from you.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think the rising global unrest is also increasing the need to diversify how countries outsource their raw materials. And so, for example, the ongoing war in
Russia.
what's it called in Russia has given rise to countries who need the fertilizers and grains that come from these countries, has given rise for them to look elsewhere. And in the situation where they are now looking elsewhere, it's serving as an opportunity for other countries to increase their production on those raw materials and to export to the countries where they are needed. Because again, we see that this war has been able to show how much of dominance a particular region of the world has over something as important as grains and fertilizers. So giving room for other countries to tap into that opportunity while the unrest is ongoing, to supply to the global market. that's another growth that I'm seeing at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So any other contribution to, for the rapid growth in international business?
Yeah, sometimes really within the government, the international business is also used to strengthen partnership.
Can you come again? You said government.
Within the government sectors, apart from the private sector, both within government and private sectors, international business is also used to strengthen partnership.
Thank you very much for that. So any other?
In order to gain competitive edge, if a business is able to enter a new country or a new market, to be able to gain more competitive edge against the other businesses in the same sector.
Competitive edge, so that is another. So there are a lot. There are a lot. Yes, we know that the general economies of scale, you need to engage in large production, or large production will reduce the cost and the rest. All those ones are, the generic aspect of it. But when you tend to, take a deeper look into that, like how one of us was able to, look at the situation of situation of other countries or the issues other countries are facing became a favor to another country, so thereby increasing the demand of the product. So those are the kind of reasons why rapid growth in international business. Okay, Mr. Lawrence.
Farmer Lawrence, actually.
Okay, Farmer Lawrence.
Yeah, thank you. As you were speaking, I was also thinking along. The tariffs and relative shift in global power, are seeing the world diversify more, in how they increase their exports to other countries rather than focus on one country. And, the more countries a country focuses on exporting to, the more they try to increase their local production. And I'm giving an example of how US is firing tariffs left, right, and center, and how it's making other countries to wake up and see that US is not the only market, and then countries are now trying to focus on selling to other countries like Russia, China. And you see how China and Canada are also seeing other opportunities in other countries rather than just focusing their energy on supplying US alone, because of the tariff issues and because of how what Donald Trump is doing with putting restrictions on countries. So I think that this ongoings are also factors that are increasing how countries are seeing opportunities to retract from supplying a particular country and increase their production to supply to more countries. It's just a wild thought. I've not been able to piece it together.
Because although there's a point on there to raise that is similar to what you said, and there are times that the economy or the industry, and should I say the global market, tend to increase this rapid growth in international business as a whole. So why am I saying this? So if you look at the issue of should I say the COVID-19, it gave birth what you call remote working, hybrid working in Nigeria. So anybody can, work from home, they can trade from home, they can, engage in their supply and logistics and other business transactions from their home country, even if they don't have a physical presence over there. So sometimes environmental factors tend to increase and it's not political. Environmental factors tend to increase, and part of what makes it the environmental factor is also globalization. So due to the fact that there is something called globalization, it has opened the market space for everybody to trade in without having, should I say, physical presence in that market. So sometimes about the environment can, increase that particular growth in that international business. So that can make people to engage in international business when they see opportunities out there and they don't need physical presence at the same time. So yeah, I've said, so the logistics and supply chain management too has done this thing, contribute, as I've mentioned. So they don't need to have physical presence there. All they need to do is to, liaise with the shipping companies, and they're able to, continue their business transaction. So that is it. Then there are also a lot information. We're in the information age. So we tend to know what is going on, not just by having this Zoom online, like Zoom, Skype, and the rest, not only through that platform, not through Google Meet and the rest. E-commerce has made it easy for people to trade. The internet has made it easy, especially e-commerce, mobile commerce, social commerce has made it very easy for people to trade. So trading, engaging in businesses has made it easy, very, very easy. So not from Nigeria, one can, order tons of, let's say, cocoa, and it's just how to ship it to that particular country that matters. So they don't really need to have a physical presence over there to, engage in that business due to e-commerce, due to the spread of e-commerce and the development of the internet. And let me just say internet, the digital aspect, that is digital technology. So the advancement of digital technology has also, increased the growth in international business. So in as much as there are so many reasons why businesses are really, or organizations are really going international, okay, so there are also one or two challenges that they face. There are a lot of challenges that they face. So I have here with me piracy on IC is most recently affecting the season of petroleum tankers and the rest. That one is one of it. Piracy of goods by making unauthorized copies of goods. We're having this counterfeit of goods out there. That is another issue people tend to face. That is the fake or counterfeit products that people tend to face, when they go international, and especially those that don't have physical presence. So they have to look for ways to ensure that the counterfeit of that product is at the minimum or is reduced to the minimum. So which other problems do you think companies that go international, which other problems do they face aside these ones that I have mentioned? Any other problems aside these three that I have mentioned?
Currency fluctuation, ma.
Currency fluctuation, that is the most challenging aspect that people tend to face, and it's still challenging up to up to now. So thank you very much for that. Currency fluctuation. Any other?
Wars between countries.
Wars between countries, yes, I think because even the issues,
Like Ukraine and Russia.
exactly, that has really
Yes.
affected some countries. Farmer Lawrence, it has really affected a lot of countries that they've even stopped certain countries from having access to those countries, or trading into those countries. And some countries, they will not want to trade so that they will not lose connection with other countries. So politics have tend to, take charge of that. Let's hear from you, Farmer Lawrence.
Thank you. So I'll say within the context of agribusiness, there is a huge challenge in consistent supply of raw materials. So a small business or a large business has found its way into an international market, to supply certain finished goods. But meanwhile, the backward integration is facing a huge challenge because they're not able to consistently get access to raw materials. An example will be just imagine a company that has found its way into ginger supply, say to the US market, and then the crisis that happened with to ginger happened. Those companies will find it difficult to continue supply to the market because of what is happening in the production or raw material stage. So I think it's a huge challenge for as many businesses that are in the agri space and has found their way into supplying. There's a huge challenge to continuously access raw materials.
Thank you very much for that. I'll also add cultural differences is still a challenge to some organizations. They still, they still find it challenging trying to, manage the different, should I say, personal values, um, cultures to manage it, their preferences, their tastes. They still find it challenging in that aspect, balancing that. Okay, let's hear from Mrs. Grace.
I also think that regulatory barriers could be there, like something that is acceptable in one country might not be acceptable in the other country. So you might need to continuously trying to strike balance. If an item is banned in the country, but in your own country where you are producing from, it is actually accepted. So there could be some issues with legal and regulatory bodies.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Especially when we have all these regional clusters like the European Union, we have the NAFTA. So they tend to have their trading blocks in the process. So a particular regional cluster might accept a particular product, while another regional cluster might, reject that particular raw material product. Okay, Farmer Lawrence.
Corruption and trust issues at the ports can also be a huge challenge or huge challenges, as the case may be.
Thank you very much. Corruption too is another aspect that people tend to back to every day. So corruption and trust issues. So there are a lot of problems involved in international marketing aside all that we've mentioned. So here with me, I also have prohibition of certain products which we've mentioned. We also have embargoes, kidnapping. That too is also another aspect. So later in this course, we're going to look at market entry strategies. So there are a lot of entry strategies that organizations tend to use. So it's not just exporting, as I've mentioned. Exporting is just one of it, but there are a lot of strategies that an organization would actually engage themselves to, operate in that foreign market or to trade in that foreign market. So we're going to look at this in our next class. So I said that there's a question that I have for us as I've answered the first one. So I have for the food of the thought, I said, is exporting the best market strategy and why? So is exporting the best market entry strategy and why? So looking at all these entry strategies that we have out there, do you think exporting is the best? Because we have multiple here. So do you think export market strategies is market entry strategy is actually the best? And why do you feel it's the best? And if it's not the best, why do you feel it's not the best? Okay, so Farmer Lawrence, let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. So I think exports is not the best market entry strategy. And that's because business needs to be understood. And I feel that you cannot understand business on the basis of multicultural dynamics. you know, once you get, I mean, the fact that you have to deal with multiple cultures, on your entry into business is too much stress for you to comprehend, and the business is most likely going to fail. So I think it's important that you first understand home country production and running business in a local community first before you explore export. So export is not the best entry strategy for business.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other idea, any other thoughts towards the question?
Another thing I'm just trying to think about is that it can make local it can create scarcity of such products in home countries if one is not careful, because the marketers will believe that they will have more income exporting than selling it in the home country, and as such, it can create scarcity. One may not be able to get enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Do we have any other contribution? We listed out a lot of reasons why international business as a whole, experience growth. I also mentioned lots of problems. I know one of the problems or challenges that they face, we looked at cultural differences, we looked at corruption, we looked at currency valuation, fluctuation, we looked at a lot. And we looked at, one said regulatory bodies, that is laws, the laws of that particular country. So every countries have their challenges, and some countries also have, and there are certain opportunities like that from that country. So depending on the country in which one might want to, enter, that will determine the kind of strategy to use. There are some countries that they don't encourage exporting, but they prefer joint venture. Prefer when you partner with their, local people, you partner with the people, the companies, the established companies in that particular country, for them or for you to thrive. So there are some countries that, have that policy. Even China, so I think that is one of their backing, their backbone. You can't just enter their country and open a business just like that. You have to, partner with the local companies, and local company must have dominant share over the foreign country. I don't know if that is still existing, but I know that's been the policy that they've had for years. So some countries too have certain policies. So that's why they tend to ban a lot of, exporting. But when it passes through certain form of strategies, it becomes very easy. It can be in form of licensing, it can be in form of management contracting, it can be in contract manufacturing, it can be, different types of strategies. So exporting might not necessarily be the best strategy, but it depends on the country in which the organization wants to trade. It depends on that particular country. So that country can be the one to determine whether exporting is the best strategy or not. So it depends on the country in which they want to trade. So that will be my own contribution to that. I don't know if we have any, additional contribution to this question. Is exporting the best? So exporting is not necessarily the best, but it depends on the country. So it's the country that will determine whether exporting. So people tend to rush into exporting, but when they get to that gateway of moving their product to the country, that's when they will now realize that it's not just about exporting. There are times that it's only when they've heard the general news that I exported this country, I exported this food, I exported that product, then they want to try their luck. But all of a sudden, they just realize that the country has stopped that particular product and introduced, stop that product and introduce a particular law. So it's better to understand that country to know whether it is exporting that is right or not. So exporting is not necessarily the best strategy, because there are a lot of strategies that one can use aside exporting. So we'll stop here this night. I don't know if you have a question, contribution, or anything that you have to say. Mr. Madzu, let me get the name right. Okay, it's not here with us. Mr. Akinwale, we didn't hear from you. And Mr. Ayodeji, did I hear from you this evening? We didn't hear your contribution. So we'd love to hear your contribution next class. So I don't know if you have a question, have any contribution, or question or contribution before we call it a class. So I will send this lecture slide. So I will need a class rep, class governor, just someone that will just stand in for the class to, when one or two of our colleagues, one or two of us, your colleague will need assistance with one or two things, you are able to, represent that class to say this or that, to pass that information. You are there to represent the class, to pass the information. So we need someone that will stand in as the rep, as a governor of that class. And if you can form a group for this particular class, so as time goes on, we'll be able to, all necessary information will be passed to the class, and we'll continue from there. So the rep, you can discuss that within yourself, or someone should just volunteer and create a group, add others, and we'll continue from there. But I would love to know, you can send me, let me put in my, I'll send it as a chat now. So this is my phone number. So you can just send me, and it's also my WhatsApp number. You can send me a chat via WhatsApp that you are representing the class, and let's try to add others to the group. Okay, so this is my WhatsApp contacts. And I said before, I'm Dr. Oyagba by name, and I'm the lecturer in charge of this class. Okay, so thank you very much. If you don't have any question for now, thank you very much. Thank you for taking time out to attend to tonight's class, despite our busy schedule. So have a lovely evening. I don't know if Mr.
Thank you, ma. You too, ma.
Yes, ma. So have a lovely evening and see everyone next week.
Yes, ma.
Thank you, Mark. Good night, Mark. Good night, everyone.